It was a quiet night in June 2021 at a home in Hampton, Virginia, when something terrible happened. A father, home alone with his kids, made a decision that would change everything. One of his children, 4-year-old Cody Bigsby, would never be seen again. What happened that night has left people heartbroken and searching for answers. This is Cody's story, a story full of mystery, shocking discoveries, and a community still trying to make sense of it all. What really happened to Cody, and why did he never come back? On January 12, 2018, a little boy named Cody Bigsby was born to parents Dina Abdul Karim and Corey Bigsby in Hampton, Virginia. Cody had a bright personality and a warm smile that revealed his deep dimples. With his curly black hair and brown eyes, he loved Spider-Man and brought joy to those around him. His arrival made him the second of what would eventually become 4 children in the Bigsby family, including a set of twin boys born after him. Cody's parents separated in 2019, and by 2020, Dina faced serious health challenges. This led to an agreement where Corey would take custody of their children. However, Dina claimed Corey hesitated to take Cody, calling him a mama's boy. Despite this, Dina handed over the children to Corey on November 1, 2020, during a meeting halfway between Hampton and Washington, D.C., where she had relocated. Dina alleged that Corey refused to share his address, preventing her from visiting her children afterward. On January 31, 2022, Corey reported 4-year-old Cody missing. He told police that he last saw Cody around 2 a.m. after putting him to bed. When he woke up, Cody was gone. Officers arrived at Corey's residence at the Buckrow Point townhomes and began investigating. Cody was described as being about 3 feet tall and last seen wearing a black bomber jacket, black sweatpants, and Spider-Man flip-flops. Authorities quickly issued a public alert, and the FBI joined the search effort alongside 50 volunteers. Police focused their search on areas near Corey's residence, including waterways and the nearby Hampton NASA steam plant. Questions circulated online as police sought tips from anyone familiar with Cody's family or living in the area. During a press conference, Hampton Police Chief Mark Talbot confirmed Cody's parents were persons of interest, stating that inconsistencies existed in Corey's account of the events. Despite this, no evidence suggested Cody had been abducted, which would have triggered an Amber Alert. Chief Talbot expressed hope, saying they would continue to search as though Cody was waiting to be found. Meanwhile, Corey's sister defended him, insisting he was a loving father who would never harm his children. She firmly stated, "I know my brother, and I know it's not true." As the investigation progressed, troubling details emerged. On February 3, Corey was arrested on 7 counts of child neglect stemming from incidents before Cody's disappearance. According to reports, Corey admitted to leaving his children alone on multiple occasions, including a December 2021 instance when he went to Norfolk to purchase a vehicle. On another occasion, just days before Cody's disappearance, Corey left his children unattended while running errands. Corey's attorney, Jeff Ambrose, emphasized that the neglect charges were unrelated to Cody's disappearance. He also criticized how Corey's requests for legal representation were handled, a claim Chief Talbot disputed, highlighting Corey's military background and his capability to understand his rights. Nearly a week after Cody Bigsby vanished, on February 5, 2022, volunteers gathered once again to aid in the search. A bitterly cold Saturday morning saw community members scouring a wooded area near Cody's home. They trudged through thorny underbrush and muddy terrain, some equipped with machetes to clear the dense foliage. Others operated drones, while a few focused their efforts on nearby water bodies and an abandoned storage unit. The search was set to resume the following morning ahead of a candlelight vigil planned for that Sunday evening. Despite their determination, no significant clues emerged. At the vigil, dozens of people gathered on the soccer fields near Cody's residence. They held candles, released balloons, sang, and prayed for the little boy's safe return. On February 8, Corey Bigsby was denied bond, a decision his attorney vowed to appeal. Just days later, on February 12, a blue jacket thought to belong to Cody was found in a field behind his apartment complex. Police and forensic units responded quickly, also noting tire tracks near the discovery site. Despite this, hope for Cody's return began to dwindle. The community, however, continued to express their love and concern for him. A Valentine's Day display appeared along a fence at a local soccer field, featuring balloons, flowers, and cards. Residents left heartfelt messages in a sparkling Valentine's box, hoping Cody might one day see their love for him. A Facebook group dedicated to Cody's case gained tens of thousands of members from across the globe, all eager for updates. Amidst the outpouring of support, Cody's mother, Dina, issued a heartfelt statement expressing gratitude for the community's efforts while explaining her reluctance to speak publicly due to ongoing legal proceedings. "I am praying for the safe return of my baby boy, Cody," she wrote, urging respect for her privacy during such a tragic time. Efforts to locate Cody continued, with a non-profit search and rescue team focusing on areas where Cody had previously lived in Norfolk, Virginia. Acting on tips from neighbors, the team combed through the location but once again found no new leads. As February wore on, Hampton Police Chief Mark Talbot admitted to significant missteps in the initial investigation. He revealed that detectives interviewing Cody had failed to honor his request for legal counsel. Cody, who voluntarily came to the station after reporting his son missing, underwent a polygraph test late into the night. Around 4 a.m., tensions boiled over, leading to a heated exchange with a detective. During this interaction, Cody twice asked for a lawyer, but his request was ignored, and the interview continued for another 2 days. In light of these revelations, Chief Talbot launched a comprehensive audit of over 100 hours of recorded interactions between police and Cody. He acknowledged the mishandling of Cody's request for an attorney but maintained that statements made prior to the request remained valid. The lead detective in the case was placed on administrative leave, though the charges against Cody were unaffected. By July, Cody faced 30 charges, including 15 counts of child neglect and multiple counts tied to allegations of abuse. Court documents outlined incidents where Cody had left his young children alone on several occasions, sometimes for hours, without adequate care or supervision. These charges carried a maximum potential sentence of 162 years in prison, though none were directly connected to Cody's disappearance. As the case against Cody unfolded, his extended family publicly defended him and criticized the police. They announced a $25,000 reward for information on Cody's whereabouts while alleging misconduct by law enforcement. In January 2023, a year after Cody went missing, his case remained unresolved. The memorial near his home, adorned with stuffed animals and handwritten signs, stood as a somber reminder of the community's enduring hope. Reflecting on the case, Chief Talbot shared that it had deeply affected him, saying, "We became intimately familiar with how Cody lived his life." Through the course of their investigation, authorities uncovered a heartbreaking picture of the challenges and neglect Cody Bigsby endured during his short life. Hampton Police Chief Mark Talbot reflected on the process, stating, "We've become intimately familiar with the trauma he experienced while he was living, the kind of deprivation he endured. It's deeply traumatic." While the community remained hopeful, Talbot acknowledged a grim reality, explaining, "Each day, it becomes harder to believe Cody is alive. If he were, we'd see traces, photos, phone calls, something. Yet there's no evidence of him being cared for or alive." Despite the growing uncertainty, the investigation pressed on. Volunteers continued their search with the same vigor as they had a year prior. Chief Talbot noted that their work included following a statement Cody made while incarcerated, leading investigators to search an area in Maryland near Washington. Investigators discovered that Cody and his 3 siblings rarely left their home, didn't attend school, and were without babysitters. The last confirmed interaction anyone had with Cody outside of his father was in late 2020, when an aunt spoke with him by phone during the holidays. In March 2023, Cody was transferred to Eastern State Hospital for mental health treatment after a court-ordered psychiatric evaluation yielded mixed opinions about his competency to stand trial. Cody's family attributed his mental decline to the stress of his incarceration and the conditions he faced in jail. They maintained their belief that Cody was alive and had been trafficked, with Cody's sister stating, "I believe in my heart Cody is alive. I think he's been trafficked, and one day he'll be returned to us." In June 2023, a grand jury indicted Cody Bigsby on charges of homicide and concealment of a body. The indictment alleged that Cody had died around June 18, 2021, 7 months before he was reported missing. Investigators did not immediately disclose the evidence supporting this timeline, which Cody's sister disputed, claiming she had last seen Cody alive in the fall of 2021 at a family gathering. Surprisingly, Cody was granted bond on June 21, 2023. His defense argued that without a body or concrete evidence of homicide, Cody was entitled to bond. The court imposed strict conditions, including house arrest with his adult daughter in Norfolk and a ban on contact with his younger children. Later, in November 2023, a hearing was held to determine the admissibility of critical evidence, confessional letters Cody allegedly wrote while in prison. In one letter, written with the assistance of a corrections officer, Cody described finding his son unresponsive, unsuccessfully performing CPR, and ultimately placing Cody's body in a trash bag and leaving it in his car for 3 days. He claimed to have later driven the body to a location in Maryland. A second letter, written by Cody himself after the first, provided a similar account, describing an accident where Cody supposedly fell down the stairs. Both letters expressed Cody's panic, prayers, and ultimate decision to dispose of Cody's body. On January 21, 2022, Cody Bigsby allegedly confessed to taking Cody to Garrett Morgan Boulevard in Maryland, where he initially placed the boy in a trash receptacle. Realizing his actions, Cody said he removed Cody and buried him beside a tree, securing his ankles and wrists with tape and laying a cowboy rug beneath him. He claimed to have placed Beats headphones in Cody's ears and left some trash and a bike at the scene before eating nearby. These chilling details were revealed in court during his trial. In December 2022, Cody reportedly handed a corrections officer a note on Christmas Day, confessing that he buried Cody after finding him unresponsive. Another confession written in a notebook found in Cody's cell detailed a separate account where he allegedly struck Cody on June 18, 2021, before putting him in a bathtub, then a refrigerator, and eventually burying him. Cody's defense argued these statements were coerced due to the conditions he endured in jail and during police interrogations. However, the court ruled these confessions admissible for his trial, which began in March 2024. In February 2024, the community faced another heartbreak when a notice was placed on Cody's memorial fence indicating it would be taken down. While some requested it remain longer, officials stated it would be removed following the 2-year anniversary of Cody's disappearance, as someone had been charged in his death. During the trial, Cody's mother took the stand. She recounted the last time she saw Cody in November 2020, when she handed him and his siblings over to Cody at a 7-Eleven halfway between Hampton and Washington, D.C. Dina testified that Cody never allowed her consistent communication with her children, ignoring her calls, emails, and messages. She described how Cody once emailed her in early 2021, accusing Cody of troubling behavior and stating, "He needs to come back to you because I don't want to severely hurt him." Dina was shown a photo of Cody taken in June 2021, just days before he was allegedly killed. Through tears, she said he looked unrecognizable, sad, mad, and frightened, compared to the laughing, loving child she remembered. She also testified about an email she sent to Cody in January 2022, desperately asking, "Where are my kids, Cody? Are they alive?" Cody's older brother, now 7, provided remote testimony wearing a light blue bow tie and suspenders. He recounted finding Cody unresponsive on a bed with his face red, dry, and bruised. When he asked his father about Cody, Cody reportedly dismissed his concerns. Through tears, the boy said, "I was thinking he was dead." His testimony placed Cody's death months before Cody reported him missing in January 2022. Forensic evidence from Cody's phone further corroborated this timeline, with photos of Cody and his other children at Busch Gardens in July 2021, weeks after Cody's alleged death. The most damning evidence came from Cody's written confessions. Corrections officers testified about the first note he dictated, detailing a burial site in Maryland that prompted an extensive search involving cadaver dogs and FBI agents. No remains were found. On Christmas Day 2022, Cody handed another handwritten note to an officer, stating he attempted CPR on Cody before his death on June 18, 2021. 3 years after Cody Bigsby's death, Cody Bigsby was sentenced to 45 years in prison for the second-degree homicide of his son and the concealment of a body. The maximum sentence allowed under Virginia law for these charges included 40 years for the homicide and 5 years for hiding Cody's remains. Cody still faces potential sentencing for the child neglect charges, which could total an additional 162 years. Despite the conviction, Cody continued to claim his innocence. In a post-trial interview from the Western Tidewater Regional Jail, Cody alleged that his confessions were fabricated under pressure and that he was denied fair treatment during both his incarceration and trial. "If I confessed to something, they should have found my son, but they didn't. I don't know where Cody is," he maintained. While Cody's body has yet to be found, the case has left a significant legacy. In January 2024, 2 years after Cody was reported missing, Virginia lawmakers introduced the Cody Alert. This new system aims to address gaps in missing child cases that don't meet the strict criteria for an Amber Alert. The Cody Alert allows law enforcement to issue alerts in any missing child case, whether or not abduction is suspected. The alert includes targeted notifications within a 10-mile radius and can be expanded as needed. The legislation, signed into law in May 2024, went into effect months ahead of schedule, with the first Cody alerts issued in September 2024. Within the first month, 3 missing children in Virginia were safely recovered thanks to the new system. As Corey awaits additional trials for child neglect, Cody's memory lives on in the hearts of those who loved him and in the new alert system bearing his name. Though his body remains missing, Cody's legacy serves as a reminder of the importance of protecting vulnerable children and ensuring their voices are heard, even when they cannot speak for themselves.